Outreach and Community. Good morning. We're going to get started with today's Outreach and Community Engagement Subcommittee meeting. Today is Tuesday, October 29th, 2024, and it's 11:05 a.m. We're going to start off today's meeting first with roll call and introductions. I'll pass it over to Garyana.
Brenda Lee.
Present.
Marcus DeWall.
Here.
Alexandria Spearman. Demetria Lawrence. Nicole Green.
Aye.
We have 3 members present. Quorum is established.
Okay, thank you, Garyana. And we do have one person that's joined us via Zoom. If you'd like to go ahead and give a brief intro just so we know who's on the call, I'd appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Ashley Graham, and I'm attending for formal interview to join.
Okay. Thank you. Welcome. We're happy to have you join us today.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to move us along our agenda to item number 2, which is public comment on any item under the jurisdiction of the committee and not on this agenda. If you'd like to make public comment, you can join remotely. Use the raise your hand feature and we will call on you for public comment.
I'll add a public comment that's not on the agenda, and I know that we had a question in reference to chairs and positions. So I appreciate Garyana giving that update. We've had a lot of, as we know, new members, and I did check in with a lot of the members, met with them to kind of get an idea where they wanted to go. As Garyana said, you do have 2 members that was interested. I apologize because I thought they were going to be here, so I'll try to do better checking with them. But so far there are 2 that I know for a fact that was interested. There are also, we have 2 more that probably are on the fence between here and Programs and Services, which is Wanda and Tracy. So they were to join via Zoom, this one and Programs and Services. So you do have a full house of individuals that do want to be a part of it. And then at that particular point, I did talk to each member one-on-one across the board, because we have the same situation with Programs and Services where the chair seat is available if anyone's interested in the support that they will have. So you may have some takers on that. And that's definitely something that we can add to the agenda for the next meeting and kind of get some ideas of anybody that may be interested in that vote. So, or in that.
Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate that. And seeing that there's nobody in the room for public comment and nobody online, I'm going to move us to item number 3, which is consider approving the record of action from the August 20th, 2024 CAB Outreach and Community Engagement Subcommittee meeting. And after you've had the chance to review, or if somebody's reviewed in advance, we would be looking for a motion and a second.
And this is Nicole Green. I will motion to approve the record of action from August 20th, CAB Outreach and Community Engagement Subcommittee meeting.
Okay, this is Brenda Lee and I second.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion and we have a second. Garyana, can you do a roll call vote for us?
Yes, I have a motion by Nicole and a second by Brenda. Brenda?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
Nicole?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. We'll move right along to item 4, which is consider approving CAB application for new membership to be considered for approval by full body. And I believe that this CAB application is for an alternate position. And we do have the applicant who introduced herself earlier on the call today. So we will be doing a brief interview. And with that, Ms. Graham, if you could turn your camera on, and the 3 of us here that are part of the OCEC subcommittee, I'm going to ask if Brenda or Nicole have any questions, and then I'll chime in as well. Just, an opportunity for us to get to know you, your interest in the CAB, and what you bring to the table. That's basically what we're attempting to do in this we call it an interview, but it's really a conversation between OCEC and yourself. So with that, Nicole or Brenda, if you have any questions for, or actually, let me do this. Ms. Graham, if you'd like to give us a brief intro, we all have your application. I did have a chance earlier this morning to take a look at it, and so I do see, you know, what you've put on your application. But if you'd like to just give us a brief intro, anything that you would like to share, and that may actually, you know, handle some of the questions that some of us may have. So with that, Ms. Graham, I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, hi. My name is Ashley Graham, and just a little bit of background about me. I am a full-time student at Diablo Valley College in Pleasant Hill, pursuing a degree in psychology. I should be graduating next spring semester. I am also a member of the participant advisory board with Rubicon. Um, I have a lot of experience with like being involved with the justice system. And right now I feel like that I can bring like a lot of insight of the pitfalls and some of the advantages of how things are allocated within the county.
Thank you. And again, we appreciate you submitting an application and for being present on today's meeting. And with that, I'll turn it over if Brenda or Nicole, if either of you have any questions for Ms. Graham.
Oh, yeah. Hi, this is Brenda Lee. I have, I'm interested in your participant on the advisory board at Rubicon. Okay, you say you're serving as an advocate. So what
Yes.
exactly does that involve?
Oh,
your
well, that
activities?
is just like basically inform. Oh, well, activities. I've sat on the voters guide committee board. I help facilitate community events, educating the community on what kind of resources are available.
How long have you been with them? Are you still with them? With Rubicon?
Yes, I am still with Rubicon. I just received a formal offer to take on a wellness coach position there now. So I'll no longer be a participant. I will actually be a Rubicon staff.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Nicole?
That was one of my main questions. Was in reference to, well, thank you for being here. Number one of the key things that we're looking for, well, not looking for, but we've been advocating for is to really try to get a robust candidate individuals on the table that have the experience from the program aspect of it, probation aspect of it, as well as lived experience. Because it's really important to hear from the individuals receiving the service, is the service working right? So Brenda took my question.
I'm sorry.
But I did read over, I do see that you've also indicated that you've worked with the youth in juvenile hall. Was that the one in San Francisco or?
Yes, that was in San Francisco. That was actually with the Girls Justice Initiative. That was about 20 years ago. I don't know if that program is still available, but I was kind of like a youth advocate. And we would like hold groups inside the juvenile hall and like educate the youth on healthier decisions, resources that were available upon reentry.
Thank you for that. So, it looks like you are heavily involved within the community and advocating for individual justice involved. How
Yes.
familiar are you with, CAB and our meetings and the work that we have done in the past year or so?
Well, I've only received a little bit of information when I was going through the workshops, but I'm here to like learn a little bit more of what is involved, what the agenda is like, some of the commitments that come with it, and how I can be of assistance.
Oh, you know what? Go ahead.
Sure.
I'll chime in. Yeah.
Are
go
you sure?
ahead.
Like, take it away.
Like, did you read my line?
Oh, would you like to?
Go ahead.
Are you sure? You go ahead.
So,
We're gonna
okay.
share.
So, one thing that I think is important to know coming into this, because on the surface, and I'll speak from firsthand experience, on the surface, it may look like the community advisory board commitment is one meeting per month and then participation on a subcommittee. And so on the surface, I think it seems manageable. It seemed very manageable to me when I put my name in to be considered to be a candidate, and I'm familiar with community advisory boards in other counties. But frankly, it's much more than that. And I think to really, you really would need to come into this knowing that it's more than just coming to and participating in a couple meetings per month. There's a lot of work that goes on in between meetings that's on your own. This is a unpaid voluntary position. And so I'm just curious if you have any concerns or what your thoughts are about that, because it is a big time commitment. And and really, I think what I've noticed is that I think she may have dropped off.
Oh. Oh, maybe it's her connection.
Yeah, I don't see her online anymore, but I think her audio was going in and out, so it could be her internet connection.
So while we're waiting for the record, so we do have another cab member that's joined us for the subcommittee. We have Alexandria Spearman. So just so that we can note that she's in attendance. Good morning.
Good morning. We don't know, huh? Interested in, she had revised punitive.
I can try
measure
to reach
policy.
back out to her, but if you guys want to move on to the next agenda item, that's okay.
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 So I'll move us to item number 5, which is to revise the cab ambassadors program guide.
That is my
That's somebody
assistant.
different. Yeah, I'm like, that's somebody different.
That's somebody- That is my assistant. who prepared the public, just to learn more about it and help me stay on
I was
track.
about to go high five. Good job.
Help me stay on track.
Oh, Lord.
I told y'all. So welcome.
Okay.
Okay, so this one, the cab ambassador program guide. Now I know that it sounds like some of us have already started doing our outreach to set up or attempt to set up some of the ambassador meetings. And so Alexandria and I actually, the first time we met is when we did our ambassador meeting with Supervisor Anderson. And so that was good. Certainly utilized the cab ambassador program guide, the talking points to help prepare for that meeting. And so I think, and I'll need some assistance as far as what exactly we're trying to do with
I'm
you
ready.
today. Okay.
So this came from our last full board meeting. So we did provide talking points to get you guys through the ambassador part, but what we didn't recognize was this was never updated. This is completely outdated. So we have to actually go through this and update this document. Since we're, in my opinion, and it's completely up to all you guys, since we're already in the process of doing the ambassador meeting, this can be something that can be notated as a goal on your work plan. It's going to take some time.
Mhm.
So it's pretty much, it's been updated like last year, but as I was reading throughout the full CAP meeting, like the recommendations, all the data on there is not current.
Mhm.
So we'll have to go through with a fine tooth comb and get it current to what the recommendations are now and the verbiage, the members. It still goes all the way back to old members that are way before everybody's time here. So
Yeah.
that's the purpose of it. So we figure we will bring it here so that you all can have that discussion,
Okay.
but it's not an expectation that you'll get it fixed today.
Okay.
And then knowing right around the corner, January is here and we have the AB 109 retreat and then probably a restructure of how the committee is going to be built. Maybe it's something that can be added to the work plan so that the new members will know to get this prepared for the upcoming ambassador for 2024.
Okay.
That's my recommendation.
Okay.
I mean, 2025, what's next year? 2025. That is my recommendation to you all.
For our work plan, for the OCBC. work plan.
My recommendation for you all for the work plan is possibly added it to your work plan for a goal to tackle in 2025 at the beginning of the year, so that you are in preparation for the bachelor meeting next year, because unless y'all want to do it, you may not have enough time, as everybody's new and trying to get everybody caught up to speed. But it's up to you guys. To you, ladies and gentlemen, but that's what we do right here.
Okay. Does anybody have any thoughts about that and the, the best case for moving forward? What I ended up doing, just to help myself prepare for it is, I mean, I obviously didn't go word for word, but I printed it out and then I just created my own document where I took out some of the
Cheat sheet, huh?
information.
Yeah.
Yeah, I took out some of the information that was older information, but wanted to make sure that, at the least that we went into our meeting, prepared to follow a similar format. Being, that Alexandria and I are, I mean, she was brand new to the cab and I'm, a few months in. We use the meeting primarily as an introduction to Supervisor Anderson, as far as who we are, what our experience is and what the cab has been working on as far as with the budget recommendations that'll be forthcoming to the
Right.
to the Board of Supervisors, and then knowing that Supervisor Anderson is going to be the incoming president of the Board of Supervisors.
Right.
We thought that was important for us to get before her sooner rather than later, and gave her the opportunity to talk a little bit about her goals and priorities are as well.
And I mean, that's actually spot on. That is what we want everyone to focus on, because right now this is kind of all over the place. So the goal was just exactly what you just said, making sure they, introduction to CAB, who we are, and then focus on those key priorities that we have right now. Because as a majority of everyone that we're reaching out to and for the investors are aware. So really like a thank you to even lay that on our plate like that, because this is the first time ever that CAB has been charged with something so significant. So it's really kind of just show them the outcome of what CAB has done.
We've done.
I know it's been kind of rushed put together, but I figured if I gave you guys all the recommendations and what the outcomes of that. As I told them at the full board, it's not an expectation for you to read it word for word. You are able to change it based on two or three working together. We want you to change it so that it flows. So when this is written out, it's more just like what you read for guide. And then as you get with your group or whoever's going to be involved in that meeting, you all decide on how you're going to present this to whoever your assigned person is. So I'm hoping that, so far I've got good feedback from you. I got good feedback from Tiffany. I just want to table that with Garyana's here because Jeffrey, I don't know if Jeffrey was assigned to any of you all.
Yeah.
So that's one item that we do have to address with Garyana as well. So Tiffany did take the lead on all of those, but overall, exactly what you did was what I was hoping.
Okay.
And then from a chair perspective, like I told you guys, I apologize. I didn't know how outdated this was. It should have been current, but with the time and everyone leaving, it wasn't. So I'm glad that you were able to pivot. So, as I read through this, again, I left it up to you guys if you thought it would be something you can break down. And if it was, that it would be recommended that everyone, well, for example, like with policy and budget, we had to do something that's this large. We kind of broke it down amongst ourselves and took a portion of it and then came back. But I wanted to allow you guys to figure out what was best, or if you just wanted to wait because we're already doing it. And no one had any questions for me as of yet in regards to the meeting. So I was hoping with what was provided outside of this was good enough to be able to help a little bit to get everybody through it.
I don't mean to interrupt, but Ashley Graham has rejoined. So did the body want to finish the discussion on the ambassador's guide revisions, or did we want to go back to the informal interview?
Let's go ahead and finish this. So here's what my suggestion is, and then, it's certainly throwing it out there, but it piggybacks on what Nicole just shared. I think that what may be an efficient way of doing this is that if we just assign different sections to the three of us and start working on updating and revising them. I think it'll end up being less work if we break it up amongst the three of us. So You know, does anybody want to take number one, the executive summary?
I'll do
Can
it.
can I give you all some notes as well?
Word, yes.
Yeah, so, cause I don't know, you may have to search, but you can definitely ask Ariana and or myself,
Mhm.
for like the recommendations. Although I share with you guys the four priority areas, we
Yeah.
actually have a full document of all the
Mhm, mhm.
recommendations, so if you don't have that, then I believe Ariana can share that. So I just wanted to point that out for anyone that gets that particular section.
Okay,
For that, and I just wanted to pin that there, because I was like, that's not all of the recommendations. So-
and, and number two, the ambassador assignments is actually, I think it's the last page in this guide, right? That
Yeah,
has
this
the
is out of
current
it.
assignments. Okay,
With the current-
so you know what, I'm just gonna, and just see how it comes up randomly, and then if you guys wanna tweak it, we can tweak it, let's just go in order, so Brenda will take number, first section.
Executive summary?
Yeah, and then
Okay.
Alexandria, if you take the second, and then I'll take the third, and then we'll start all over.
The points of
Again.
Marcus.
So, Brenda, you'll have the sample correspondence,
Okay.
and then Alexandria, you'll have number 5. And I'll have number 6,
Yes.
and then again, well,
The miss summary of meeting notes?
yeah, Brenda is the summary,
Okay.
Alexandria is the external meeting report,
Okay,
and I'll do the thank you note.
okay.
And so if you can work on those,
Okay.
prior to, or work on those between now and our next meeting, and, Garyana, can you share with us a deadline that you would need, our updated or our suggested edits so that it could be shared, at the next meeting?
Yeah, so your next meeting is November 19th. So I will post the agenda around the 13th or the 12th. So if you can get it to me by the 11th, oh, that's a holiday. If you can get it to me by the 12th, that would be great.
Okay, so,
Please be creative. This is not set in stone.
okay,
This
Right,
was,
we'll just take it as
yeah, this was.
your template or example.
It was just something the first group put together, but this is
Right.
not the required template for
Yes.
this in reference to the way the script is written. So
Okay.
please be creative.
okay,
Fresh ideas.
okay, so, to summarize, we've broken it down, between the three of us. We each have our identified sections, and then we need to send our suggested edits to
To-
Garyana no later than November 12th.
Okay, okay. Edit by then, okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna take us back to our previous item 4. Ms. Graham, I thank you for joining us. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you guys fine. I apologize for that. I don't know what happened. My device just completely shut down.
Okay, no problem. Do you remember? So I had a very long-winded question for you, and so it was about time commitments, and basically in a nutshell, being part of the community advisory board is more than just attending 2 meetings per month. There's a lot of work that goes on in between meetings, and so it is a big time commitment. And I think we could all speak to that firsthand. And this is a voluntary, unpaid position. Do you have any concerns, or how would you, or do you have, just what are your thoughts about, do you have any concerns with the time commitment?
No, I just would need to know like more if my schedule would work with what the requirements are, what the commitments are.
And, I mean, just off the top, the 2 meetings, it's the
Thursday.
second Thursday of every month from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then there is a requirement that all CAB members need to be a part of one of the subcommittees. They are standing meetings as well, so they're held on different days of the week, but they are during business hours. So during the normal business hours or the business day, generally around, well, I don't know, are they all around this time?
No, so it gets sometimes around 10, sometimes in the
Yeah,
afternoon.
'cause
They are flexible depending on which committee. Some committees schedule per month, and then some have a locking date that they have a meeting scheduled.
So that's something to take into consideration. And then, as I mentioned there, and you rejoined, at a timely point to where we were talking about a document that we're going to be working on as a subcommittee, but we're going to be working on it individually outside of this meeting so that we're prepared to discuss it at our next meeting. So there is some work that's required in between meetings as well.
Okay.
I think if you listen to some of our meetings, if you just, you can like zoom in, you don't have to participate, but if you listen, you can hear a lot of the things that, that we're doing. I know the other thing is that, I don't know if you have to commit it, but they would like for us to come to other meetings besides CAB, like the Board of Supervisors meeting or special meetings. Every once in a while, we should attend those,
Correct.
So
there are some meetings in addition to CAB, that we, outside of the Board of Supervisors, there are other meetings within the community, for example, mental health, other housing, homeless, Council of Homeless, Measure X, things like that, depending on what the board feels like the need is. And sometimes you can join us via Zoom. You don't have to always join in person.
Right.
So there is some work outside of the regular meetings as mentioned that we're required. So I appreciate you bringing that up and saying that as a new member for someone to think about, because that is something that is very important to know when joining CAB.
And
Okay.
in addition to that, something to consider, there are operating guidelines for the CAB. And I mention that because there are attendance requirements. And so if any of us miss a certain amount of general CAB meetings, then we could potentially be told that we're no longer going to be a member of CAB because there is required participation. Obviously stuff comes up, life happens, but we're looking for people to be committed to doing the work, and that's a commitment that we have to follow through ourselves.
Okay.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Oh, I would ask her about,
I think you had another one.
I know, what did I do with this? Mark it. Hold on. I was asking about.
Well, as she looked for that, can you give me, or give us, I believe you said earlier, and I wish I would have wrote it down, being someone that receives services and advocating for other individuals, can you give us an idea of what do you believe that you could bring to CAB, or some ideas? And this is not a right or wrong question, just as she's looking for that, trying to fill time, give us some ideas of, some of the things you'll like to see, or what you feel like you can bring to help CAB in this process.
Okay, well, yeah, being on the receiving end of some of the services, um, I have been to prison. I served a prison term, and when I got out, I didn't have a lot of support. I had to advocate for a lot of these resources myself. I was able to locate so many different services. As far as health benefits, a lot of people don't know that Medi-Cal will provide transportation to any kind of outpatient treatment because that's considered health. Um, I had to find food pantries, places to, get stable housing and things on my own. My parole officer wasn't really trying to help me with any of these resources. So a lot of these things I had to go out there and I had to find them on my own. In June, I did complete my certification in community health work. So I do have access to a lot of the materials on local and out of county resources as well for people that may need to, go outside the county for more resources. And also had to deal with a lot of cultural awareness. Sometimes there may be language barriers or undocumented citizens who may need access to services as well.
Thank you, Ms. Graham. And so, based on the application and then our conversation with Ms. Graham, what we'd be looking for is a motion today and then a second for us to move her application to the full CAB.
She has one more question.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but I didn't want to interrupt him.
I know, we were both like, let them
Like,
know.
I don't want to be rude, but
You
then I
know
have
so well.
Okay, I'm sorry, Ms. Grant. I had one question. I read here where you did revised punitive measure policies that directly impact me. Could you give us an example of one of those?
Oh yes, so I attended a policy building workshop, and it just basically we have to do a lot of activities on how to compromise to put together a campaign, who to reach out to within the county and within the local cities, because there are different governmental agencies, how to attend public meetings, hall meetings, the ones that are open for local measures and things like that, to advocate for policy change as far as healthcare benefits, food justice, nutrition justice, food deserts, equitable housing, things of that matter.
So you helped to revise these measures? Is that what you're saying?
No, well, we all took a vote and then together they just put
Oh, it
together.
was a
We
group
were
effort?
actually, yes, yeah.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Graham. So what we're gonna do now, just so you know, we're gonna have put it back to this committee as far as, a decision to move, whether to your application onto our full community advisory board. And then, we'll let you know what the next steps are. But please, stay on the call for a few more minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so, as I prematurely said, so what we looking for is if we would like to move Ms. Graham forward to the full community advisory board, her application, would need a motion in a second.
I'll move that we move Ms. Graham's application to the full CAB board.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Like, I'm just here to help, but I was like.
Okay, we have a motion from Brenda and it's seconded by Alexandria. Garyana, can you do a roll call vote?
Yes. Brenda,
Yes,
Marcus,
Yes.
Alexandria,
Yes.
Nicole,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Garyana, can you tell us when the next, the date that the next full body meets?
Yes, the next full body meeting is going to be on November 14th at 10 a.m. So
Okay,
Ms.
thank
Graham,
you.
you're welcome to come in person or virtually, and I can send you the meeting details.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ms. Graham, thank you for joining us today. And as you heard, it was unanimous that we are recommending that your CAB application move forward. And so for that meeting on the 14th at 10 a.m., we will be letting the full body know that we had this conversation with you and that we support the CAB application moving forward. But it does have to go to the full body before it can go further as far as you being considered to be placed on this board. But we appreciate your time and hanging in there with us and listening to our questions, and appreciate the feedback that you gave in response to those questions.
Okay. And thank you guys for this opportunity.
Thank
Thank
you. You
you.
have a great day.
Okay, so before I move us to item 6, I want to go back.
No, I just wanted to ask you all and add, this is I wanted to first uplift River County RSC. This is the second individual that's either went through their program, so they're really pushing for that lived experience. So I don't know if that's something
I wrote that
later
down,
on
lived
to kinda
experience, yeah.
talk about. And the reason I bring this up, I was on another board meeting and a lot of the different either commissions or board within the county are trying, we don't have seats here, like, how some have seats, but they're trying to figure out how to prepare individuals that have that lived experience to be prepared to come into board meetings. So maybe that's something we could think about in the future, not now, but how can we, from an outreach standpoint, or maybe one of the other committee members, help people that want to be part of these boards feel confident and
That they
come
can
in
participate.
and know how to participate. But she would be the second young lady, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
So I just wanted to pin that. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I'll hush.
Well, I think that, to that point, it could be something that, down the road, long term could be a goal or a task for the community advisory board, to have that as a mentoring component.
Yes.
So I think that you raise a very good issue that could have a lot of impact.
Did you write that down, Garyana?
She got it.
Add that to the new item list. We have a-
Okay,
My work plan.
so item 5, I think that I just want to add, do we need to make any changes to any of the CAB ambassador program assignments? Because I think you mentioned.
Oh, yes, let me go pull that up. Yes, so let me, so Gary, I'm not sure if you or Patrice received any updates in reference to, Jeffrey and, if he's reached out to any of you guys, I don't know. So,
I haven't heard it.
so I can tell you, where is he? Jeffrey.
Right after Justin.
I'm at the wrong one, that's why.
Oh, okay. This one?
Where's the
Before. This is
It's
the
on
newest one.
page 30, well, it's 39 of the attachment.
Please make this guide short. Like, where is it?
Or, yeah, 39.
Okay, so. You and Jeffrey Brenda was on EHSD. I believe Tiffany says she already started that one.
DH, was I on that
Wait
one?
a minute, I'm blind.
Well,
Yeah.
He's
He was first, right,
You're
right,
second.
right.
And I know Tiffany signed up to.
Oh, she did? Oh, so
From
she's-
what I understand, to participate.
Okay,
So I believe she said she had already
this is on Jeffrey,
started.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Garyana, we don't have the list for the new members in here on which ones we added into.
No, because I looked for it.
No, sorry, I didn't
So-
include that. That's a good catch.
So to give you some, for all the new members, they did add themselves, like, for example, so
Yeah,
this is not the
Demetrius should be
current
on
one.
there.
Okay.
So for example, I no longer have all these people assigned to me. So this is not the current, this is not current.
Okay.
So we actually went through at the full board meeting. I'm very excited that the new members did step up. They took some of the first position or second positions. So there's a more current one than this. I don't know how to go.
No, I'm
Do you
sorry.
happen to have it?
Is he not going to be on the cat anymore?
We don't know. We're just
Okay.
all getting the
Yeah,
reply. that-
let me pull it up.
Someone's gonna find out, but he's not responsible.
Because I was gonna call him, but I said maybe I shouldn't, because we.
Yeah, and I can't because I'm still participating in policy and budget.
See, so, yeah, but
can't.
I emailed him
That's-
twice, but, and then they said he's out of the office. And then I went back again and they said they don't know when he's coming.
That's the response from everybody, so
Yeah.
none of us know. So I was
Yeah.
hoping he called them.
Oh.
But when she pulls that up, I don't want to go off of this because we made changes. But in reference to Jeffrey, I know that Tiffany's been assigned, I think, to 1 or 2. And she
Tiffany,
said she had
okay.
already just took the lead because he wasn't responding, so. I was
Okay,
gonna tip
okay,
that.
cool, okay. I'll call her.
Okay, so look, so I was going to be, well, I was supposed to be on 2 with him. One of them, I'm the first, which is probation, which is
Probation.
not a problem, but I can
Okay.
take over being first for for Burgess.
Burgess. Oh, yeah, Jeffrey with Burgess.
You're already doing Joya, so that's fine.
Yeah, I got it.
Did you get any emails from Tiffany? I don't remember. She just said she mailed everybody, but I don't have this in front of me. No.
But Tiffany, what did she say? I thought I got an email from her. I thought I did. No, I got one from you.
On ours.
So I get,
Well, she said she agreed that.
With the, how we set it up.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I gave them an example of the question or the request that I was putting forth, and I wanted
Okay.
them to see it before I sent it out. But I did send it out.
There you
so
go. So Tiffany is second, Jeffrey, sorry.
So wait,
Uh-oh.
so we're saying,
Gary, how you moving too quick?
so we're taking Jeffrey off completely, right?
Yeah,
So I'm gonna put Tiffany as first and then I'm with EH. Okay. All right.
you guys can decide how, if that's the one that she's under, I can't see, let me.
Okay, Tiffany was there, but she was my third for Joya, whatever.
Okay,
But see, Marcus was the second, so we've got to, I need, I guess we can put her on both of those.
so she, the papers, wait, it's up there, so she was, Second for Sheriff's Office, which is Alexandria and Brent, you guys just talked about that.
Yeah,
And then she was third for Joya, which was Jeffrey, Brenda.
where are you?
I'm looking there.
That's the last one. Okay. Oh, God. Okay.
And then Marcus, it was just you and, so I'm pretty sure if we ask her, she'll probably join and help with Marcus if we ask her, but I don't want you to leave you by yourself.
What about,
For-
what about Demetria? You only have her down for, oh, she's over here, Carlson. Is she with?
I feel like I said.
I think.
Oh,
Can I get close to the thing,
Looks
Gary?
like-
I think she's printing them.
Oh,
out
okay.
Looks like,
right
well, Wanda's the third for the probation, so I'll include her
Okay,
in the outreach and I'll reach out
okay.
to the probation and then, but for Burgess, I was second and Jeffrey was first.
Yeah.
I can be first and then if somebody wants to be second.
Okay. What do we have Justin doing? So we're taking Jeffrey out. Okay, I'm just, okay. No,
Justin has,
No Jeffrey.
See, I'm available.
would you
Thank
be willing to do it?
Mhm.
Okay, so that'll give Alexander 3.
Okay, this is, okay, we should be looking at this
Just
one.
a
Okay.
little bit, okay.
Okay, so Alexandria will be the second for Burgess.
Burgess.
And I can check off. and-
The second. Okay. Marcus, you're the first? Or are you the second?
Yeah, I'm the
You're
first.
gonna be the first.
Yeah.
Okay, you're the first, and then she's the second. Okay. Then you're gonna be all over the place, girl.
Let's go.
So
Okay.
Brenda, for the EHSD,
EHS, okay, so,
nobody else on there with you.
yeah, so. What about? Where, oh, no, she's down there. Demetria. Who's Tracy? Which one is Tracy?
She's the one that, yeah, let's add Tracy. She's the one from, she lives out here, but, works in Santa Clara County.
Okay, so we had her third for court. You wanna take her off court?
Well, no, each took 3, so that'll be her third one.
Okay, so you got, oh, okay.
That's
So
for EHS.
EHS, you got Tracy?
So put Tracy, so you'll be first and she'll be second.
So this
So Garyana, you back?
be. Jeffrey's out and Tracy is second.
So we put, Alexandria, under Burgess. Marcus is first and Alexandria is second.
Okay, so take off Jeffrey.
Yeah, we just remove his, stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
And then for EHSD, Brenda's gonna be first and put Tracy second.
Okay, Tracy. We do have a list with everybody's numbers and on this, right?
She's Bethel Island, Byron, Discovery Bay. And in the cities of Antioch, Brentwood, and Oakland.
Oh, okay.
Who's that? Burgess?
Burgess,
Oh, yeah,
way out.
Yeah, I live
Yeah.
in Brentwood.
okay.
And
Around
for
the corner.
EHSD, it's Tracy and Brenda.
Brenda, yeah,
Yes.
and then Joya, it's,
Me and.
Brenda and Tiffany.
Tiffany.
And you already was gonna reach out to Joya, so you just wanna stay first? You
Yeah.
wanna go to,
Yeah, I'll do it.
and again, I don't know, you may wanna check in with her, cause she seen me at the training and said she was calling people, so. I don't know.
I'm gonna call her.
His office or not. Yeah, I don't know.
No, everybody that we're switching around that I'm dealing with, they're gonna hear from me today. At the meeting, are you okay with this? Okay, so we have okay, got it, EHSD, okay. And as you know, this LEA, you remember Gariana, cause, I got the notice that, is it Livingston? Was the, contact? Maybe it's on my list, but he said he's not. Where is it?
Yeah, I received that contact information from Patrice, but I'll follow up. I'll provide her this
Yeah.
feedback and I'll follow up with an updated
Okay, good,
contact for
because
the
I
LEA.
did contact him, and he said
representative.
he's
Can you,
not.
can you also check with her to see if, Matthew is still the contact for court? I had a really hard time getting him last year. I finally did get him last year, but he's not responding this year. I'm gonna call him. I already sent him 2 emails.
He just like me, 2 emails and a phone.
Yeah, there's a phone
Yeah,
call,
there's a
but I had
phone
the same issue last year.
Oh, yeah, I remember. So,
Okay, I'll follow up with both of those contacts and provide you with a update.
Okay, are we ready to move to item 6?
Sheriff's Office.
So I updated EHSD to Brenda and Tracy. Burgess is going to be Marcus in Alexandria. Carlson, was it Carlson? What was the other ones after that? Or did
Uh-oh.
I
just
get
put
all
it
of them?
back. And then for EHSD, change it around Brenda's first and then Tracy's second. For
First,
EHSD.
okay, okay, first. Okay,
I mean, when y'all talk, if you want to change it around, you guys can. I just want to put it on there. If she feels comfortable doing it.
okay,
I can do whatever once you guys.
thank you. I just, like I said, Gary, I just need LEA, okay?
I know, really.
Like, no,
What is LEA?
it's law
Oh, the law.
law enforcement agency.
So you know what?
But he's out of Pittsburgh. It says it's the sheriff's department out of Pittsburgh. Okay, but he says no. So I need to find out who is the contact for LEA. Yeah, law enforcement agency. That's what it's called. That's what it
Is
says.
Jeffrey no longer the second for probation?
It's Alexandria.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jeffrey's out.
It's me.
Oh, you know what?
Where
No,
we at?
it's Tracy.
Wait a
Sorry.
minute.
Probation. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Maybe they're,
Tracy in where?
wait,
Wait,
hold
wait.
on. Don't listen to me.
Don't listen to me either. Wait a minute.
It was Walanda.
Well,
Is where? Probation?
Yeah, because on this new one right here, she was
Oh.
the third.
Okay, so we moved.
So we're gonna make her the second.
Make her the second, because
Yeah.
there's no Jeffrey.
Sorry about that.
Okay, all right.
I mean, that's okay. I was just like, sit down.
She's like, it's me.
Okay.
Okay.
Does this look accurate on the screen?
Like we can see that?
Right.
Can you make it
Oh.
bigger?
Okay. That's too big.
Okay. Court, okay, Nicole, you're still gonna be first for court, huh? We're still gonna try and.
Yep.
Them, okay. EHSD, that's me. Joya, and who's the other one? Oh, the LEA, we're still trying to figure that out, right?
Just
Joya, oh, the sheriff's office. I'm the sheriff's office.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that's the one we've already seen.
Yeah, but I'll keep them again because they didn't respond back.
Mm-mm.
So I'll do them again. Okay, yes.
I think it looks good.
Okay, I'll send this updated assignments sheet to the full body.
Thank you.
See it?
I do want to see Alexandria.
Alexandria, where are you?
I should have,
You're on the sheriff's office,
I have 3 assignments.
Anderson and.
Third on Sheriff, second on Anderson, second on Burgess. Okay, yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna move us along to item 6, which is to revise the CAB outreach presentation. So the last time that we met, what we talked about as far as an action item is going through the current or the most recent PowerPoint
Yeah, this.
that was put together. And so I did not get it to Garyana in time for it to be part of today's agenda packet, but I did submit some suggested edits to her this morning and I have them printed out. And so what we'll do is I'll walk us through the suggested edits and then we'll have it back on our agenda for the next meeting as part of the agenda packet. And it doesn't, I mean, it's gonna look different if you did a side by side, but I didn't take from my perspective, any of the important content out of it. What I did is I went through the CAB, the operating guidelines. And so if you move to on our printout, the page 2 and slide number 6 is for the role and the function. I just updated this to include the functions as they're outlined in the CAB operating guidelines. So I basically took the exact or in some to make it more concise. The next slide, Garyana. So that one before that. So, before, that's what, so if you look on what I printed out on slide number 6, and what's on the screen is what it currently looks like, and what I have on slide 6 is what I'm suggesting as edits, and the language that I put are directly from the CAB operating guidelines. And then, going into, slide 7 through 10 are the subcommittees, and I did something similar. So a lot of these were already in line with what's written in the CAB operating guidelines. I just updated or am suggesting to update the language so that it's just basically the same language that's in the CAB operating guidelines. And that's on the printout on slides 8, 9, and 10. And then for slide 11, I just added on the printout, slide 11, the second bullet where it says CAB members must reside or work in Contra Costa County. And then, slide 12, I don't think that I made any changes. And then slide 13, I deleted some of the past names as far as, for the CAB vice chair and CAB secretary. And then the other subcommittees, because we'll just need to update the names of the people that are leading these respective subcommittees. So I removed some slides and then I updated language to correspond to what's in the CAB operating guidelines. I did not make any changes to the notes that are included, but I just what my goal was is to make it a little more concise, and then a presentation that could be used for multiple purposes. So for outreach to where any of us, including the full body, are, if have the opportunity to give a presentation, you can present this to anybody. You can present it to just explain what the CAB does. And then at the end, there's a few slides that talk about, how to apply to be a member of the CAB, or if it's specifically a recruitment type presentation, it could be used for the same purpose. So that's what my goal was with these suggested edits. And so if between this meeting and our next meeting, if you want to take a look at what's been printed out, and then we'll include this in our agenda packet for our meeting on November 19th. Questions or any discussion for this item?
Was this included in our work plan?
Update the
Yes.
presentation, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was, but I can't find it right now. It looks like I put it around here somewhere.
Can you just remind me, you said 13, you deleted. Everything in the contract, that's just the names.
Yeah, so on 13, so I updated the CAB chair because that's Nicole. Now it had I forgot who was on
Is
it.
that Justin? Is the vice chair?
Vice chair is just, the vice chair, and the policy and budget subcommittee chair is Justin.
Yeah, this is.
We do not have a secretary. That position is pretty much gone.
Okay.
Programs and service subcommittee, we will be determining that at the upcoming meeting on Thursday. And then for outreach, the current intern chair is you, but it's pretty much open until it gets voted on. So that's, we have to remove CAP secretary because that's not needed anymore. We have Garyana. So.
Yay.
Okay. We didn't vote on making you the chair?
He wanted to be
Interim.
Yeah, he was
Interim.
interim. He didn't
Oh,
want to
that
be
I hate that word.
interim.
Okay.
So until somebody else
Okay.
Right.
would like to.
Okay.
Right. So and just so that I'm clear and transparent with it, so I agreed to do it on an interim basis. And that's really what I would like to remain. Ideally, it'd be great if someone else wanted to do it on a permanent. And I'll tell you what, the reason why is I'm really interested in some of the other subcommittees. And and I could be wrong, I just feel like I have other things that I could offer with some of the other subcommittees that would be more productive to me to be involved at the subcommittee level rather than bringing up some of the questions that I have during the full board meetings. I think it would be more productive to do it at the subcommittee level. And, talking about like when we were doing the interview, the time commitment for, I mean, I know that I could just join or participate in a subcommittee meeting, but it's a lot of time. And, and I mean, now I have a different perspective because I'm retired now. It's like I've given
You
up
work
all.
more that you retire.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
and so I'm trying to, be intentional about my time, but I also want to, be a productive participant in these meetings. And, I would not want to be on the other end of, something was presented in the full body, and then now, oh, somebody has all these questions, and well, and so I think that's just something that that's my personal goal as far as participating in the cab. If it doesn't work out that way, I made the commitment, I'm here, I'm gonna serve as the interim chair of the subcommittee, till otherwise, but I just wanted to be transparent with everybody. That's what my desire is.
And I'll say this, I appreciate you stepping in for an interim chair because that really helped me out, especially with the new members here, being able to get them up to speed. In the event that no one picks anything, because we do have January's coming, that's our April Night Summit, where everyone can come together and they can stay on the board they are and then move around. In the interim that we don't have one is, I appreciate you, but if you decide that you do want to go to another committee, you are allowed to do so, and then I'll just step in and take on that weight. So helping me out during this couple of months while I work with all these members have been more than appreciated because I wouldn't have been able to do it by myself. And I do understand, and I do appreciate you being transparent and reference. I do think you have a lot to offer the cabinet, and we'll love to be able to pull it out of everybody. So I just wanted to leave that there. In the event the next meeting, people are still on the fence. I think if anything, if people don't want to jump into it right away at that AB 109 summit, I have a feeling somebody will because they know, because none of you guys actually really got the new member orientation kind of thing because it was just Brenda. Everyone left, just me and Brenda.
Yeah.
So people are not
And it was
probably
relatively new. They just.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So so it's like Brenda's relatively new. She got thrown in, and then all the I'm senior. I've been here 4 years. They left. So really, everyone probably feel a lot better, even yourself being here for the past couple of months, as we actually go to the summit. And that's when I think everyone probably feel more comfortable saying, okay, I take that seat. So that's what I'm feeling.
Well,
And even Justin stepped up, and that's not really, but.
yeah, and I appreciate that. And even I think the one unfortunate thing, because there has been a lot of turnover recently, is that as far as for this subcommittee specifically, is that it's going to be like a new.
Correct.
Or, so I know that there's a benefit to having continuity as well. And that's something that I'm open to, but I just have a desire to be involved in some of the
Right.
other. So
And
maybe I could figure out how to make that work, continue to do this, because it doesn't help to continue to have to take steps backwards or have interim, and there's something said for continuity.
so I'll add this to you. One of the things I did tell all the new members, I'm very excited about 2025 because it's kind of like the end of something and then the beginning.
Mhm.
So everybody came in while we were finishing up all of this AB 109 realignment of the access funds and everything, all of the priorities have been approved forward. So this new year is pretty much just monitoring what we did and then taking all these fresh new ideas that we have, because now we have a whole new different perspective.
Mhm.
So it's like looking at what was put in place, but now we can adjust.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like looking at everything with a fresh lens.
Mhm.
So I'm kind of tell everybody that it's great to have something to go off of, but me as a chair, I want to embrace new ideas. I want to embrace change. I want everybody's feedback. And that's why I'm excited for the retreat in the new year. Say, we've done this. Everybody see it. Now, what is your thoughts?
Mhm.
How can we make sure that it works and improves? So,
And new fresh ideas.
and new fresh ideas.
ideas.
So I do want everybody to go where I think everyone has feedback they can provide to each one of these different committees. And Garyana, correct me if I'm wrong, because I know Jill mentioned it, but you are able to join the other meetings and listen in. We can't break quorum, but you can join in as a regular individual, right? And make, you're not voting on anything if you want to hear what's going on in the other one. So there's ways
Yeah.
to do it and participate. And then once I let go of policy and budget, I'll actually really be able to talk to everybody, like really get your ideas. And like I told her, the shared site update. So I want all y'all to, what are we gonna do for next year? I'm excited. So, yes.
Okay, we are done with item 6.
Okay.
And then, so, I'm sorry, to close out item 6, so with the suggested edits, that'll be part of the agenda packet for meet on November 19th. And our next item is item 7, is to discuss the onboarding process for cab membership.
Is that
I'm
our?
gonna add some contact to that.
Yes, because,
Okay,
yes.
so, I'm kind of like,
Sorry.
oh, no, go ahead.
I want to hear, may you repeat again the closeout? We close out, we're going to say it.
I was like, what?
Yeah, what's been printed out is actually gonna be part of our formal agenda packet for our next CEC subcommittee meeting.
Okay.
And the reason for that is that then we would be looking to make a decision, okay, is this what our PowerPoint's gonna be moving forward? And then we can make a motion or not, and then that item will be completed.
Understood, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So, this is something that we can put a fresh new lens on it. I'm be honest, I'm unsure of what OCEC, and I don't know if you were even here when they've done it. Me and Brenda, we're not sure of what their onboarding looks like at all.
Right.
So, I wanted to add it here and really get all of you guys' perspective from the new members on what do you believe would have been, because it comes here. So pretty much anyone that comes in, goes through the process the young lady did, go through approval, go to CCP, they're in. The next thing is you guys have to onboard them, meaning get them caught up to speed about the subcommittees, get an idea of what subcommittees they want to go to or any questions that they have. And then how does chair play into that? So we got to figure out what we want to bring here, and I can tell you what I did and stepped in just as chair because I was unsure on what OCEC is on board. So I just took it upon myself to call these particular member, schedule a one-on-one meeting with them on Zoom. I asked them to kind of go look at the agenda, try to familiarize themselves with CAB, because that's what they should do, right? And then kind of sit down and figure out what questions they have for me, and then kind of brought them up to speed on where we are today and what we're doing. And then open it up for any questions, kind of went over the commitment again, the requirements for each subcommittee, the work plans, went over that. So that's what I did, but I wanted to hear from everybody, you all and the whole CAB, what do we think a good onboarding process? Is it too much that we're giving someone at one time? Like what would be?
I don't think that it's too much. I think at this point, because there's been so much turnover and then there's been new people now that are gonna be starting. I mean, let's go as far as back to when, I think there's one other person that started when I started. I can't even remember everybody's name. Or around the same time. So what I'm getting at is I think, and maybe it's at the well, it should be at the summit probably. I think that there needs to be an item to where we just address the CAB and everybody gets on the same page. This is, I mean, to reiterate, I think probably stuff that you covered in your one-on-ones. This is, this is the full body. This is our role. This are the expectations. Solidify the different assignments, and then at least as the body is composed now, that's how we move forward. But I don't think anything needs to change as far as what's been done. What you did up to this point. Now, if it's too much of a workload for you to do it as the CAB chair, then there should be other, designees that assist with that, but are covering the same information.
So initially what I was going to request, because this is the first time we had so many at one time, was a special meeting so that we could do exactly what you just said and then have everybody there. But due to the timing and the cancellation of meetings, that was one of the reasons why I did one-on-one. It was a lot to get everybody's schedule. So any event we have some, because people can come in and leave throughout the year. any event we have something like that, where it's like 4 or 5 people at one time, I would probably prefer that we have like a special, we have a regular meeting, but then we have a special meeting solely for those that are new members. And also depending on the timing, the reason why the special meeting did not happen was because the meeting's been canceled, too much movement, and then the summer is right around the corner.
Yeah.
So I felt like that was redundant, because if I do a special meeting right now, then in 2 more months, we're gonna have a full on everyone on night Sunday. So I figure one-on-one. So I think it's the timing of it. If it's like 1 or 2 people, I mean, I don't mind. I actually appreciated calling people and letting them know who I was and I'm available, what we're doing, what we're working on. I recommended for people to join. I not recommended, I wanted them to join and listen in on the meetings. I also really setting expectations of, making sure you're responding, looking like there was a certain tone I wanted to set with people and get their feedback and just welcome them. So I definitely don't mind doing that. It made people feel more connected. But I didn't know what you all did. I didn't know what OCEC did and what you would do outside of what you are. Like
We didn't do anything. We
after-
were onboarding ourselves.
Yeah, like after you approved it, like having them come back.
So here, can I make a suggestion?
Oh, sure.
So-
I'm for it.
I'm not a, because it's a big time commitment. I'm not a big fan of you having to call for a special meeting to do that. I think that we should put it on the agenda for this subcommittee.
Right, it was gonna be a
And
special
then-
meeting for y'all.
And then, but why not just add it on to the, like, it would be an agenda item for this set meeting. And if.
Well, no, it can. At that time, when I called special meeting was because you guys had too many items on the agenda. We was working on the ambassador, and that would take y'all an hour and a half.
Mhm.
But further along down the line, I do agree with that.
Mm.
It can just be a regular OCEC meeting. But that was the reason I asked for a special meeting. We were not gonna have enough time to get through.
Question. If, what about the onboarding be part of the retreat? Because at the retreat, which you've tasked OCEC with.
It
correct?
is.
That's when you keep saying onboarding, I'm just thinking it's part of the retreat.
No, it is in a
because
sense.
at the retreat, everybody's supposed to be there. We're gonna introduce you, can all meet each other and do certain things. So what happened to the retreat?
No, the retreat is staying, but it's once a year. So someone like him that came mid-year, we're not gonna throw out another retreat.
Well, you know what? So, and
Like, you know what
maybe,
I'm saying? So he came in the middle of the year.
Mhm.
Our retreat is in January, so we never had anyone outside of me calling and saying, are you okay?
but you know what? So
And
I felt like, and I was good with that. I felt like the emails that I got from Garyana made it pretty clear.
Okay.
Like, this is what you're, like, welcome. This is what you need to do now that you're a cab member. You need to do these
Da, 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 da,
trainings. Here's, access to these files. You should review them. This is where this information can be
Right.
found. You're required, and then I think there was a separate email that
Right.
you're required to join a subcommittee. Which one would you like to join? Okay, you're joining this one. Now you're gonna have the recurring meet. Like, for me, that was fine.
So I'll give this feedback. It depends on. So we have different levels of individuals on this committee. So those of us that are familiar with that, experienced with that, it was easy for us. And then I get feedback from some that aren't so
Oh,
savvy.
really?
Maybe
okay.
those that are coming on with our lived experience, they're not, that was too much for them. So,
I see.
I agree with you saying like it shouldn't be, it's only gonna be a special meeting if it's only some kind of special circumstance. But I agree with bringing it back to OCEC as an agenda item. As the chair, if I'm still the chair voted in next year, I don't mind reaching out to folks and doing like intro and saying, hey, to kind of gauge where they
Where you
are, because everybody did not need that. A lot of folks I talked to didn't. This go around, but in the past, I did have people that they did need a lot of hand holding and I did like one-on-one mentoring with. So it depends on where they are is where the need is. And I never threw it back over here. I just mentor them. I just meet with them once a month for mentorship. Your face says you had something to say.
And my hand.
It went.
I'm sorry.
No, but I do, I'm in agreement with the recommendation and suggestion to add it, and I'm understanding of the circumstances. We're close to the retreat, so I'll get more information when it comes. Garyana's information, do this, do that, that was wonderful. And I think that having an agenda item for OCEC where you actually come in, if it be in the middle of the year, just another chance to look at it, review it, say, okay, this is what we're gonna do in person and paper.
So put it on our work plan. Well, because the work plan runs for the whole year. And it, so there's not a time limit on it. So that would make
Yeah,
sense. You put it on the
mhm.
work plan and we look at it and we say, like, okay, in January, we say, okay, we need to do this, and then maybe by March, we may need to do it again.
Mhm.
But at least it's on the work plan and we can tick off, okay, yeah, we've done this. So I think that'd be the best way to do it, is to put it on OCEC's work plan.
Okay.
Because I
If
did
they can ask
appreciate
a
our
favor,
conversation.
really determining what will be the key items, cause that, you guys
Yeah.
wanna go over. It's a lot. You'll see at the retreat. It's way more than what she sends out. The retreat is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, it goes deep.
Yeah, because I was looking it up. I looked up the first one that I went to. We did it on Zoom.
Yeah,
so
I
My
just
first
feel,
on Zoom.
I didn't, they did a great job, RJ.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't until my second or third year where I really felt like I got the whole concept of, it was so much information that was given to me. It's way more than what I gave you.
Yeah, I have a sense that it's way more.
Right, so
that's
it's figuring out, so that's why I tried to break it, I don't wanna say dumb it down, but I tried to minimize and just. give you
Layman,
like
put in
the
layman's
Yeah, I just gave you the key pointers of it because it's a lot, so it's really figuring out if it is gonna be, scheduled. Just something outlined so that if it happens again, like right now, we have nothing to go off of. Something for the next person that comes to OCEC to go, okay, what is that onboarding process? What is that gonna look like? Even if it's 3 bullets, I don't care. But just something that we can leave, because right now, none of us have any ideas of what, I have no idea what that looked like.
Okay, but was that the last time we got a binder?
Correct,
Was that at our retreat?
yes,
Okay, now the binder was really very helpful.
Yes.
It was sectioned off, and it tells you like, the structure and the responsibilities and
Mhm.
contact. I mean, it was pretty thick. And yeah, it was the binder that we got. So, I mean, we may want to see if I can find it. I got so much,
and that may be something that you want.
I have Julius.
You have,
in our office.
okay, yeah, it was a binder, and I thought that was really helpful, and I think we got it at the retreat, correct?
Yes,
Well,
and
it sounds like that's what's in the Google Drive.
no, you ain't seen the Google Drive yet. The Google Drive is outdated. It hasn't been
Has she updated it yet? 'Cause I
No.
don't look at it anymore.
I have not, no, that is something that I want to talk about at the retreat. That's
Oh.
something I want to work on with Garyana for 2025, getting it current, but I
Okay.
really want everyone's input on what they want to see there before I just upload unnecessary documents there. But that's not, you may see some old stuff, but it has not been touched in current, like really current with everything. We've been adding bits and pieces in there.
Okay.
But I don't know if you want to suggest and maybe add it as an item. I know you've been assigned to it, but it's not just on you on your own for the retreat. So OCEC usually put together the retreat.
Retreat.
Not a lot.
When is
Oh,
the
wait,
retreat?
yeah, I got that one. I wait till it was somewhere, and she turns out that she says to me,
See what
I was told that you were assigned. I was told you were assigned.
I'm like, oh, I said, oh, we got that too.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
let me
it.
write that down right
So as you
quick.
can see, there are a lot of things that is
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
outreach. When, like you said, I really appreciate you bringing it up with where we had
A commitment.
here, because I wouldn't have thought of that.
Hmm.
But there are so many things that you do in the committee, and OCEC does a lot. You recruit, you
Yes,
interview all the new members, you do the ambassador, you are responsible for the retreat in January. So all that means is that you have to put together a talking point and a presentation and assign parts. So every member is to participate. Usually as a chair, I work with you all to facilitate
Mhm.
that. So I will be working with you. So we have to set time for that. But yeah, we have to put it together.
There's a date set already?
No, we will
Oh, we
be,
have to
we will be
date?
discussing that at the next committee.
at CAB, right?
Yeah, because I kept getting it mixed up. I think last year we had one meeting, we took a whole day. So we go for a vote where we can either
Yeah.
split it between 2 days, or we can have one whole day, because folks work like me and we got to figure out what that looks like. So we
Yeah, we thought one whole day because, 2 days, if you're working, that means that
take 2
you
days.
gotta hit your, that I need to,
Yeah.
and I think it was only half a day, right? We didn't do a whole day.
I don't remember.
2 days?
I had it all wrong. I
Okay,
don't.
I just know we did it, the last time
It
we did
was
it.
all
one
day. It was like from 10 to
Yeah.
4, but there was like an
Yeah.
hour lunch break or something like that.
So,
And we got food.
Yeah. We provided food for the members.
We got provided food. It was good food.
that's buzz,
Right.
it was,
Yeah.
okay.
We got sent the menu and was able to pick our lunch. So
Oh,
Yeah,
can you make a note to see if we can increase that lunch stipend amount?
It's pretty good.
Okay,
was
so
better than
we're,
last
so
time we
we're,
went to on.
Yes.
It was good.
so we're putting on our work plan.
Okay, yeah, we're adding to the work
We're
plan.
adding to the work plan.
Okay, we have to add retreat, right?
And the onboarding.
Okay, work plan. So the new member onboarding, okay. And then the retreat, right? And we don't have a date for the retreat yet. Okay. Okay.
Okay, anything else for that item? Okay, then the next meeting for this subcommittee is scheduled for November 19th, 2024, 11 a.m.
Oh,
And,
okay.
so that's a week before Thanksgiving. And so we've gone through today's agenda. Before I look for a motion to adjourn, anything else anybody has to share for any of the items that were on today's agenda? Okay, so go ahead.
I don't mean to add anymore because we didn't even talk about that. Have a discussion on how you guys want to handle tabling and then making a list of things that we need for.
Oh, yeah, but we go out to, we do our community outreach and we go to different functions. And we need a present, to show our presence, because everyone that we've gone to, they've been really nice, like, what is it?
We went to RC, we went to the Contra Costa College event and table. We did one more, we did a presentation. We did the block party, a presentation at RC.
Right.
And then the Contra Costa County. And it's not solely on you all. I'm just saying what I would like, because I'm just here to help, is that all members participate.
Well, that's, so I'm glad you say that.
Put that out there, because I'm trying to help y'all too, and I'm like, wait
No,
a
you're-
minute, wait a minute.
Yeah, and really, and because I was looking at the operating guidelines last night. I mean, that's what the guidelines say. Yeah, it's this subcommittee, certainly plays a role in identifying, events that we would suggest to the full body that there's a presence from CAB. And then, certainly we would participate in some of those events, but it's not all on this subcommittee.
Right.
It's for the entire CAB body. And then also recommendations be made to the CCP on where there are potential opportunities for them to do outreach and engagement.
Right.
That's what it says in the operating guidelines. And so I think that and rightfully so, I think there's been a lot of intentionality with the need to do recruitment. But if you look at the name of the subcommittee, it's outreach and community engagement. That's not just recruitment. It's it's engagement, letting the community know what's going on. And so for tabling purposes, I think that it would be beneficial when the CAB is at events to have information on the programs, on the services that are funded by AB 109, so that people know how to connect to those services.
And we did.
And even some of the service providers.
Right.
Because
That's funded under AB.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, that's what we've done. Like when we go out and we will, we tell them about CAB. We mention AB 109, 'cause some people don't even know what you're talking about.
Right.
We tell
That's
them
what we're getting.
and remember, and we explain it to them, and then they become interested. And then we see other community groups out there, like Rubicon is always at almost everyone that I've gone to. Rubicon has been there, and then
And I think the one of the main reasons on why it started is we realized that no one knew anything about CAB.
right.
And we wanted to have more of a community input and feedback in reference to how things are being allocated and funded. We hear from all the programs and CPOs and everyone that's high up. When you go out in public,
They don't.
you say, do you know what AB 109? Have you ever heard of Community Advisory Board? They say no. So it was just making sure that the community actually does have this input.
Right.
And I do want to make sure that all members understand it's not just a committee. So I don't know if it's just like we do this, the ambassador make a roster and decide on, how, like make and again, it's just a recommendation. Like how many you guys are willing, not you, how many the boards want to do per year, and that's the limit. You know, I believe, I don't know if it was you or someone said, how do we want to get the, request submitted? Should they go directly to Garyana and them versus just emailing us all? Because they always send them to me and then I forward it to Garyana to share with you all and see if anybody wants to do it.
Right.
So what does that look like, streamline it? What is our definitely, we only go do 2 per year, and that's regardless how many times we may want to go out, limit ourselves, things like that. So they don't become overwhelming because it was fun,
Right.
but it, you know, it can be a lot.
Yeah.
And if we don't have any gear, I ain't got no tablecloth, I ain't got no name tag.
I do appreciate, I do appreciate my very plain t-shirt.
Belanda,
Huh?
Belanda.
Oh, I thought Garyana's
No,
got
Yolanda.
praised for something you didn't do. We got you know, it was so cute, cab, and I'm like, okay, because every time we go out, you know, and these groups, they have little badges, you know, they have t-shirts and everything, they have their little banners, and we're like,
So at our
oh,
first tabling with RSC, Laos had t-shirts and they asked us, did we have any? And I
Yeah.
said, no.
okay,
So they made me, but the shirts got delayed, so we
Yeah.
just got them.
yeah,
But I appreciate the provider.
yes,
And
yes.
making sure we have a table because some providers,
Don't.
they don't give you a table and chairs. And we found out at the last minute, I was running around begging to get chairs. Things like that.
Okay.
Okay, so we've gone through
I'm done, I'm sorry.
today's agenda and we're coming up on our time. So looking for a motion to adjourn today's meeting.
Do we have to have a motion? I move.
Probably
that we
not.
adjourn-
So, okay, we're.
I move that we adjourn the meeting at 12:28.
All right, is there a second?
I
All right, all
third.
in favor?
Hi. And
Okay,
you're
we are
doing bad
adjourned.
racing.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, okay. Is this yours?
I appreciate
This is yours,
you.
right? This stays here. Okay, this stays.